The IHSAA Champions Network welcomes you to another Indiana High School Sports Showcase event. On this Saturday afternoon, it's the regional round of the Boys State High School Basketball Championships. The IHSAA Champions Network is sponsored by the Indiana Pacers and the Indiana Fever, by the Indianapolis Colts, and by Farmers Insurance Group, auto, home, and life insurance. Get a free online quote at farmers.com. By Subway, eat fresh. Methodist Sports Medicine, get back in the game. Sharp Business Systems, work without limits. And by Wilson Sporting Goods, the official ball of the Indiana High School Athletic Association. With our executive producer, Rick Vanderweilen, our director, Jeff Luzader, and alongside me, Big Jan Bozier, I'm Jerry Baker. Welcome inside, everybody, to Bill Green Arena at Marion High School. And Big Jan, this is going to be a full day of basketball, a doubleheader today. In game number one, of course, Carroll out of Fort Wayne will take on Homestead. Second game, which we'll also have for you live, is McCutcheon and Carroll. All these teams ranked in the top 20. Big Jan, one of the things I want to talk about right off the bat is you and I have talked in the past about how teams don't like to play each other a second time in a season. That's difficult. For these two ball clubs, Carroll and Homestead, this will be their third meeting this year. Homestead has won both of the meetings. They played back on the 19th of December, 46-34 the final. And then on January 3rd, as part of the Carroll-Fort Wayne shootout, Homestead won it 48-39. How does that impact this afternoon's game?
I think it's a real interesting storyline for Carroll. You know, and one of Carroll's losses was to Warsaw, who lost to Homestead by 1 point. So it's just going to be unbelievable basketball because the team, no way do they want to lose three to the same team.
Yep. I said good afternoon, and I keep forgetting it's still morning where we are here at Marion High School, a terrific place to play basketball. And, of course, the winner here advances to the semi-state next week. That location to be decided by the Indiana High School Athletic Association on Sunday, so you want to check the IHSAA website for that information. Let's talk about Homestead. They're the home ball club here this afternoon, 25-2 on the year. They lost to Chicago Cary in the second game of the season, part of the Bluegrass shootout down in Lexington, Kentucky. And then 3 games before the end of the season, Snyder beat them 81-68. This is a good ball club. Their girls went to the state finals last Saturday, and this is a very solid team that has been ranked among the top 2 or 3 all year long.
Yeah, they've been in the top 4 all year long, and they are that good. They'll score a lot of points. They like to get up and down. They average 70-plus points per ball game, and they're just very fundamentally solid. They don't shoot a lot of threes, but they do get up and down a lot.
Carroll of Fort Wayne, on the other hand, likewise, Jan, as a ball club, has been ranked high all year long. In fact, let's go over the rankings right now. Carroll is number 8 in the final AP rankings. Homestead is number 4. McCutcheon 15th, and Carmel ranked number 3. Carroll of Fort Wayne comes into this ball game, Jan, with a record of 23-3. They lost to Homestead twice, as I mentioned, once by a dozen points, the second time by 9, and then they closed out the season on kind of a sour note. They lost their final regular season game at Warsaw, but it was an overtime game, 48-47, but they popped back up and looking strong in this tournament.
Well, Warsaw was an excellent ball club, so that was no fluke for sure. Carroll is one of those teams, Beck, they're very balanced. They have 2 guys in double figures and a third almost in double figures. So they're very balanced. They'll spread it around. They just have 5 players that can really score.
Fort Wayne, Carroll of Fort Wayne has not played a ranked team at the tournament. They beat Fort Wayne North 57-51 and Fort Wayne Northrop 61-35. On the other side of the coin, Homestead likewise had to play 3 games, though, in the sectionals, but they also have not played a ranked ball club. They knocked off Huntington North in the Fort Wayne sectional 88-45. They beat Fort Wayne South 76-57 and Jay County 51-35. And they've got a young man we're going to keep an eye on in Caleb Swanigan today.
Swanigan is a real deal. He's a tall guy, and he carries his team, and he's carried them all day long. They're a little different than we talked about Carroll because the offense goes through him.
And, of course, Carroll doesn't have anybody that quite matches up, at least numbers-wise, to Swanigan. But Chandler White, their 6'3", 200-pound senior, averages almost 14 points and 5 rebounds per game. So, as we mentioned, These teams have met twice already this year. That's an uncomfortable situation mostly for the coaches. I don't think the kids really care. They just want to go play basketball.
You know, just to get to play in Marion High School Gymnasium, it's one of the grand old ladies of high school basketball, much like Southport does. It just has an atmosphere, and as a young guy growing up, to play in one of these gyms in a regional environment is something you dream about.
So we will take a break and come back. We'll have the starting lineups, and we'll get the opening tip for today's doubleheader. Game 1, Class 4A, Carroll Fort Wayne, 23-3. Homestead with a record of 25-2. They play for the right to beat the winners of game number 2 tonight. We'll have all 3 games for you live right here on the IHSAA Champions Network.
Ball at their own 36.
You want a playoff atmosphere? I got you one right here.
First down, Luck out of the gun again. Andrew takes the snap. Sets up, looks. He's going to throw one way downfield. It's T.Y. He's got it! He's going to score! He's going to score! He's going to score! The Colts have tied it.
Oh, my God!
On a 64-yard pass play from Andrew Luck to T.Y. Hilton. It's 44.
Already a nice crowd moving into the Bill Green Arena here at Marion High School. We expect that crowd to grow as the day wears on and the fans of game number 2 come rolling in here. Now let's get the starting lineup. Carroll will be the visiting team on the scoreboard. The Chargers are coached by Marty Beasley. Their starting guards will be Jacob Redding, a 6-foot sophomore, and Chandler White, a 6'3" sophomore. I mentioned White's name a moment ago. He's their top scorer, top rebounder, leads the club in assists, and leads the club in steals. Up front, Kyle Mullers, a 6'7" junior, will also be listed as a guard, but he's a pretty tall guard, so look for him to swing down to the baseline on occasion. Couple of forwards, Jeremy Kalanji, one of the Kalanji twin brothers. He's 6'4" and a senior. And Kellen Brown, 6'3", and a junior. And I mentioned the head coach of Carroll is Marty Beasley. He's in his 10th year at Carroll Fort Wayne. 142-89 is his record. 16 years overall, 211-154. Spent 6 years as the head coach at Garrett High School. For the Homestead Spartans, coached by Chris Johnson, their starting guards will be Jordan Geist, a 6'1" senior, and Taj Curry, a 6'2" junior. They will start 3 forwards. Teddy Ray, a 6'5" senior. Caleb Swanigan, 6'9", a senior. That's the young man that Jan talked about a couple of moments ago. And Dana Batt, 6'9", and a senior. And they are coached, as I mentioned, by Chris Johnson, 16th year at the school, a record of 244 and 122. 21 years overall, 324 and 155 his record. Spent 5 years the head coach at Fort Wayne Dwenger. One of the things, Jan, that pops out at you when you take a look at the starting lineup for Homestead, they got some big boys up front. Ray is 6'5", Swanigan 6'9", and Batt is 6'9".
Well, and that's a great point, Beck, for this reason. Homestead typically out-rebounds their opponent. Now what Carroll has to do is just compete with them. They don't have to out-rebound them. If they do, that'll be a big plus. But you're right, Homestead has the real big boys inside, and that'll be key for them because what they do is transition, and that starts with the rebound, get it out and go.
Well, you mentioned the difference. Homestead averages 35.1 rebounds per game, and they give up 23.8. That's a 11.5 rebound difference per game.
That's the storyline of their season, Beck. They really do an outstanding job of really rebounding, getting the ball, and getting it out quickly.
So we're set to go now. The Spartans of Homestead will wear white. Chargers of Carroll Fort Wayne will wear the blue uniforms, and we are set to go. The winner comes back tonight to meet the winner of game number 2. And, of course, we'll have that for you likewise here on the IHSAA Champions Network. Homestead gets the ball to start the ball game, and Swanigan got it right off the bat. This is Teddy Ray on the right side. Now inside to Swanigan again. He gets inside and gets the bucket. And, Jan, what I noticed right away, they're going to send at least 2 blue shirts at him.
Yeah, they have to. He is such a big guy and so powerful. He takes up a lot of space. They're going to have to front him, I believe, before this game's over.
Let's see what kind of an offense Carroll wants to run. They might want to slow things down. They average 61.5 points per game.
Whoa.
Homestead gives up only 51-3. They get the outside shot.
White, I think, may have got away with an offensive push-off there, but he puts it in.
And Chandler White is the young man likewise that we talked about. And the tie ball game for the first time is at 2. White averaging 13.8 points per game. Shot from straight on out front by Taj Curry is good. And Curry puts Homestead back in front by a couple of points as we're a minute into this 4A semifinal game for the Marion Regional Championship. 3, deep left corner. Got it.
Wow, both teams playing with a lot of confidence. Beck, you get to this level, you're a really good ball club.
Yeah, this is a good ball club. But Redding, that's his 46th three-pointer of the year. He's 45 of 102 coming into the game, and the first lead of the game for Carroll Fort Wayne. First lead change, 5-4, long 3, battles up and rattles back inside, and the buckets by Chandler White.
Yeah, that's 2 for him. Both teams off to a pretty good start here.
That was a 3-point field goal also. So they have scored 6 of their 8 points from long range, and the first foul of the game is going to be called against Carroll Fort Wayne.
Well, both of these teams, as you talked about, have played twice. They're not that far apart from each other. They know each other well, and already we've had a little, hey, this is my game type contact inside.
And the key there, Jan, is the foul was on Swanigan, and that's his first of the game.
They can afford to lose him.
No, they got to keep him in the lineup. Carroll now at the point guard, Maulers, 6'7". I mentioned he's listed as a guard, and he is able to move the ball well. Now here's a holding foul, kind of away from the basketball this time. And the foul's going to be on Taj Curry. I'll check it.
Yeah, it's Curry.
Yeah, it is Curry.
Yep.
And that'll be the first on him and the second against the team, so no foul shots just yet. 8-4 your score, 4-point lead for Homestead. Carroll got the second lead for Carroll Fort Wayne, their biggest lead of the game. Pull-up shot outside is good. And that is Kellen Brown.
I love it. These guys come to play.
They did. That is only his 6th three-pointer of the entire year. He was 5 for 11 coming into this morning's game. It's 11-4, a 7-point lead now for Carroll. Baseline jumper left side, nothing doing. The putback is up and good by Dana Batt. That gets his first 2 points.
Yeah, nice rebound for Homestead. They continue to lead. It'll be interesting to see how this veteran officiating crew calls this game because it's very physical here early.
Often that will have an impact on the game. The shot is missed. The officials are Sean Lambert, Kevin Moore, and Mike Wright with Tommy Carey as the alternate ready to go in should he be needed. Bounce pass in the middle and a lot of blue shirts in there. They clear it out to the timeline. And Chandler White's got it, getting a lot of pressure and came back across the timeline.
Jerry, the last time down, Swanigan wasn't double teamed, he was triple teamed.
They're going to go out. They're going to go after this young man, and with good reason. He is the school's all-time leading scorer. The former record was 1,454 points by Rick Chappell. from 1971 to 74 at Homestead High. 11-6, and they drop it off in the middle again, and Bat's got a straight-on look at it. It's no good, and I think he'll get the foul coming in from behind.
Yeah, Bat had a good look at it. Good pass from Swanigan, just didn't come off, and he's got to be careful of that because he got an over-the-back call.
That's one on him, one on Swanigan, and one on Curry. Three of the starters in the first 3.5 minutes pick up a foul.
You know, a lot of times you see 6'9", and it's not 6'9". This is 6'9". These two are twin towers. Oh, there's that push-off again. He got it.
That's going to be White. And Chandler will get his first foul of the game.
Well, first time he got away with it. Second time he didn't get away with it.
Carroll averaging, as I mentioned, 61.5 points a game. Homestead 70.9, so there's about a 10-point difference offensively. Carroll gives up, though, only 45 points a game. Homestead 51 a game. So who's going to win the matchup? The offense or the defense? Put up shot right straight on, off the mark, no good, and White's got the rebound. He averages 5 per game. Layup at the other end is off the mark, and the rebound comes off inside to Swanigan. Almost lost it, still loose. Now they got numbers on this little mini break, and the shot is off the mark, but the foul is going to be called.
Well, one of the things I'm observing here early is Carroll has really put emphasis on checking out, because as soon as Homestead shoots, they've got 4 guys really checking out hard underneath.
That foul is on Maulers, and the first on him. Free throw is good by Geis, 76% free throw shooter. Homestead as a team shoots 67% from the line. That's not particularly strong, and you never know, Jan. That might be a factor in this game. Geis gets them both. His first couple of points, and the lead was 7 a moment ago. Now it's down to 3 again, 11-8. Maulers looking to the near side. 3:45 to go here in the opening quarter. Pull-up jump from about 10 feet out is off the mark by Jeremy Kalanji. And here comes Homestead again.
Carroll saying right now, if you're going to beat us, it's not going to because you're getting the ball inside.
Reverse layup is no good, and Swanigan came out of there with it. And the foul, got a couple of guys to choose from here. They're going to go with 55, and that's Kellen Brown. That'll be the first on him. Well, Jan, if you're watching carefully, take your eyes off the ball and just watch what's going on down inside with Caleb Swanigan. They are beating on him like you wouldn't believe.
Well, they've all but locked hands, 3 guys. I mean, I'm not sure I've seen that close a defense putting emphasis on a big guy in a long time. They seriously have 3 guys, and they are as close to holding hands as you can playing defense.
Well, he's one of the best players, not just in the state, but in the nation. He is ranked number 8 in the 2015 class by Scout.com, and a contender for Mr. Basketball here in the state of Indiana. But my goodness, Janet, just look at some of the contenders for Mr. Basketball. We must have a dozen of them.
Yeah, it's been an awful good year, and he's certainly a big candidate. How could he not be?
Yeah, great numbers. And just a terrific player. 11-9, 2-point ball game. Carroll with the basketball and the lead with 2:55 to go here in the opening period. It looks to me like, Jan, that Carroll wants to slow this thing down a little bit unless they get the break on the fast break.
Well, and on top of that, Beck, what I also think, they know they have to get great shot selection because Homestead is such a good rebounding ball club, and so you won't get a lot of second shot opportunities.
Pull up 3, rattles in, rattles out. Rebound comes off into the hands of Jordan Geist, who is an average about just above 3 per game. Here they go inside, and look at that. 3 blue shirts, maybe 4 in a traveling violation on Caleb Swanigan.
Well, and here's what will happen. Carroll will beat on him more and more, and the more the officiating allow them to do that, the more they'll beat on him.
And here's the thing, Jan. Keep an eye on this. Swanigan is second of the ball club in assists. He averages 3.7 per game, which means when it goes in, it can come back out.
Well, because he draws so much attention, and he's a great passer.
2:15 first quarter. Inside, foul's going to be called, this time against Homestead. It'll be against Bat, and that's going to be 2 on him. So we'll see what Chris Johnson may want to do with one of his starters getting 2 fouls here in the first 6 minutes of this ball game.
Yeah, that's really, really early for one of your big guys to get in foul trouble. I would suspect not seeing Homestead a lot Big guys have a tendency to get in foul trouble, but you don't like to see it quite this early.
For Homestead, Ben Skoronek, number 20, a 6'4 junior, comes out onto the court. First free throw was good by Kalanji. And the second one likewise, 68% shooter from the line. Jeremy Kalanji, a 6'4 senior. And Jeffrey, a 6'1 senior. Twin brothers. Inside they go, and another foul on the attempted slam by Swanigan.
Okay, when your coach says, Jerry, take it to the rim strong, that's what he was talking about. My word, I love that. You try so hard to get big guys say, don't just lay it up, take it up strong.
Now here's the issue, Jan. That's the second foul on one of the starters for Carroll again, Chandler White, number 2 on him. Now we're going to get some changes. White's going to come out of the lineup. And Jacob Hansen, a 6'1", 195-pound senior, will come out of the court now for Carroll.
Schwanningen is a 67% free throw shooter. He's not that bad. He's struggled here early.
He has 4 points on an average of 22-4. 13-10 the score in favor of Carroll. Fort Wayne, they have led by 7. They have trailed by 4.
Homestead a little smaller now, Jerry, and they're going to extend their defense with being a little bit smaller here and really try to pressure Carroll.
Pull-up jumper. Maulers, nothing doing. Put back up is good by Kellen Brown. Brown with 5, averages 4.8, so he's right on his average for the first quarter.
Well, Carroll will get more opportunities now that Bat has set down to get offensive rebound. That's huge.
This time they have pulled big Caleb Swanigan away from the hoop, and they hand it off inside, and a steal by Maulers.
Just not much room in there. Carroll is just packed in the paint.
15-10, and a turnover down to the corner.
Stepped out of bounds.
And a substitution again now for Carroll Fort Wayne. Into the lineup, number 11. That's Jeffrey Kalanji, the twin brother, as I mentioned, of Jeremy Kalanji. And with 1:14 to go in the opening quarter, 15-10 in favor of Carroll. Homestead in the white uniforms. Pull-up jumper straight on Geist. These two ball clubs pretty darn good shooting, Jan. Homestead shoots 51 on the season, as does Carroll, so they're both over the 500 mark from a team standpoint.
And that's the shot that's open. Watching your camera next possession, Carroll has 2 to 3 people in the paint at all times.
Inside a minute, 45 seconds, long range 3, long rebound, and picked out of there by Homestead. Up comes Taj Curry. Curry drops it inside now, and Swanigan's got it and goes for the hoop.
Yeah, there's only so many things that can happen, and they're all good when it gets that deep with him.
So the lead, that was 1 times 7, is down to 1, and a steal, and it may change right here as the foul's going to be called on Jeffrey Kalanji, who just came off the bench. That'll be the first on him. And already 5 fouls against Carroll in the first quarter.
Coach Johnson making a point, and I think he has a valid argument. He thought there was a lot of contact that caused the travel.
Final 20 seconds of the opening period of play. Carroll in blue. Long range 3, right wing. Too hard. Rebound comes off in the middle to Swanigan, who averages just under 14 a game. And probably play for the final shot of the opening quarter, and it's been a good one. 15-14. Here's the jumper near side, rattles out, and the rebound goes out of bounds with 9/10 of a second to play. Well, the fans are in this game already, aren't they?
I'm telling you, this is as good as first period of play from a ball game perspective as I've seen in a while.
9/10 of a second, time to catch and shoot. They do get it inside, and the shot is off the mark. So, 8 minutes of exciting basketball go out here at Marion High School in the regional round of the state tournament. 15 for Carroll Fort Wayne, 14 Homestead of the IHSAA Champions Network.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this. You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, dum, bum, 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 bum. To speak with a farmer's agent in your community, call 888-96.
After one, Carroll, Fort Wayne 15, Homestead 14. Top scorers for Carroll with 5 each, Chandler White and Kellen Brown. Homestead is led by the 6 points of Caleb Swanigan.
Big defensive rebounds, Homestead 6.
Wow.
Carroll 3. Offensive rebounds, Homestead 3. Carroll 1.
Second quarter just getting underway and a turnover. Carroll is led in this game by a couple of points early on. They got after the game was tied at 2, they jumped ahead by 2. Now here's a late foul heading back up court. And it'll be on Homestead. That's on Skowronek. That'll be number 1 on Big Ben, a 6'4" junior, averaging 3.2 points, 2.3 rebounds per game. He's as they told me before the game, he would be the first guy off the bench.
Both teams shot 5 for 12 in that first period, dead even. Difference was at the free throw line.
And a reach-in foul. No, it's going to be down low and going to be called against Carroll. A blocking foul. That foul is going to be on Jared Hofer, a substitute off the bench for Carroll. He's only a freshman, 6'8", 230. Jen, they go to the bench and get freshmen that are 6'8".
Yeah. If I'm Carroll, I got to consider trying to go at Schwanning a little more. He's got 1 foul. You want to try to get 2 on him.
Carroll, Fort Wayne in blue, Homestead in white. They'll take the open 3 and knock it down from Taj Curry. And again, not a lot of threes this year for Taj. It's only his 7th of the year, 6 for 37 coming into the game. And the second lead change and a 2-point margin now for Homestead.
We'll see if they try to go at him.
Nice little jump stop out front, and they got the bucket. Nice play by Kalanji.
Wait, what you said there was key. A jump stop forced the defensive guy to stop, react, and he used his body. Excellent.
Second tie of the game at 17 with 7:20 to go here in the first quarter. Another 3 is in and out of there. And the rebound off into the hands of Kalanji, who averages just over 4 per game.
Carroll doing a much better job of allowing just 1 shot for Homestead.
Tied at 17. Pull-up jumper. Nothing doing. Rebound is long into the hands of Teddy Ray. And here comes Homestead again. Well, they are firing away from long range. The bucket by Geist is good. It will count. And a foul called against Homestead.
Yeah, Carroll sat there, got a little kludgy, but what they did was not force it. They just make that extra pass and got a great look at the 3, and he drained it.
That's on Swanigan, Jan. That's the second
there it
on
is.
him.
There it is. But that's not the foul I thought you would give. But nevertheless, now he's got 2, and if you're Carroll, that's exactly what you want.
All right, Hofer comes out of the lineup for Carroll Fort Wayne. We're a minute into the second quarter.
Now Bat's back in. He's got to play with 2.
Well, there is no tomorrow, or no tonight if you don't win today.
That's a great point.
Oh, good-looking block inside that time by Dana Badd, who leads the team in block shots with 43. Here's an offensive foul.
That's a good call.
Yes, sir.
Great position by Maulers.
Curry picks up his second foul. This is going to be kind of a serious situation here, Jan.
Yeah, a lot of fouls collected on both teams, but specifically on Homestead right now. 3
of their starters with 2 fouls, and we have 6 minutes, 37 seconds to go in the first half.
You know, and if, Jerry, as you look down Homestead's roster, you don't see a lot of points coming from their bench.
That's a good point. Great point. Now, they have lived and died, so to speak, with their first 6 or 7 guys all year long. 6:25 to go, first half of play, 20-17 in favor of Carroll out of Fort Wayne. And that's them with the basketball. The pull-up three is good from long range by Mahlers, getting his first 2 points of the game, first 3 points of the game.
Tie ball game.
It's the third time we have been tied. First time was at 2, then 17, now 20.
Jerry Carroll, 4 for 8 from three-point line.
And they knock one down to Homestead with Geist getting his second in this quarter. He is already in double figures with 10. His average is 16.7. So a 3-point lead for Homestead. Carroll with the basketball. They will try to get 3. And did he get hammered?
Oh, my. Can't do that.
That's Tyler French now for Homestead, who came in off the bench during the last dead ball. So the foul is going to be on French. That'll be the first on him. And going to the line will be Kellen Brown.
You know, really, that's not a good foul either. You make a push like that right in front of the official. That's just not a good foul.
Yeah, you kind of hung the official out to dry there.
Especially that far out from the bucket.
Well, I'm thinking about it, Jan, as we watch Brown take the free throw. It's up and good. I want to thank the folks from Kokomo High School.
Oh, yeah.
They did a terrific job of handling all of our statistical information, setting us up with everything that we need. So to all of those involved in Kokomo they have a reputation of being able to do some terrific stuff. Brown gets both free throws. He has 7 points now, and that's already almost 3 above his scoring average.
Carroll has made all free throws right now, 4 for 4.
Lead down to 1. Homestead basketball. Geist drives baseline. There's nowhere to go. Puts it back outside now to French, and French can't get it, but the rebound comes off to Mahlers. He gets up court, gets the layup to Jacob Redding.
Well, that transition bucket was made to perfection. 2 passes in a bucket.
And another lead change, Jan. It's a pull-up jumper is off the front of the rim, no good. The rebound hits the ground. They go back inside. The ball is stolen by Redding. Now the pace is kind of quickened a little bit here.
Well, the big guys are sitting on the pine. The little guys are flying up and down.
Long 3, no good. Rebound, Skowronek. And a whistle, and we're going to get a foul called against Jacob Hansen of Carroll. It's really physical.
I told you, these guys do not send Christmas cards to each other. They know each other. They play each other 2 and 3 times a year. They have wore each other out.
Now, if you just join us late, this is the 3rd time this year these two teams have played each other. That's never a comfortable situation. And Homestead has won both of the other meetings, 46-34 and 48-39.
You know, and you look at it, and when both teams found out they were going to play each other, you could just hear them in the locker room. Homestead going, yeah, we got these guys. Carroll's going, we're going to get these guys.
Now, the timeout has been taken with 4:48 to go in this first half of play. And it will be, I believe, a 30-second timeout. So to recap, at the end of the first quarter, Carroll with a 15-14 lead, Jan. They've come out now, and they lead now by 24-23.
Carroll shooting 50% from the field overall. Homestead shooting 40%. That's really good shots and good shooting percentage on both ball clubs. And it's just a really, really good high school basketball game. Really starting, as you called it, getting physical, but physical has equaled some fouls and got Homestead into some foul trouble.
You know, it's interesting to note, Jen, we talked about how offensive these two ball clubs are, yet let me refer back to what I just talked about. When Homestead beat Carroll the first time, they scored 46 points. The second time, they scored 48 points. So that gives you an indication, I think, of what kind of game we might anticipate, despite the fact it's 24-23 with 4:48 to go in the first half.
Yeah, I think this game has picked up a better pace than it sounds like those two were at. What a great arena here at Marion.
Oh, love it.
This is high school basketball. This game just speaks history in it.
Well, everybody settle down here. Well, you talk about history. Let's check the personal foul here. It is on Jordan Geist. That'll be his first. This arena is named after Bill Green,
right,
who's one of my favorite people of all time. And, of course, winner of 6 championships, actually.
Right.
And just a guy, if you got to know him over the years, was just a sweetheart. Look at the banners down at the end of the court.
That's an intimidating sight for
man, that is. Free throws are good, and it's 26-23 now. In favor of Carroll with 4:20 to go here in the first half. Carroll's been ahead by 7. Homestead is led by 4.
Oh, nice move.
Oh, good move inside.
Gorgeous move.
Dana Batt, only his second bucket. He had a bucket in the first quarter, one here in the second. He averages 8.3 per game.
Well, what he did so well was under control, didn't force himself into an offensive foul situation, get a little drop step, and just laid it up nice.
26-25 in favor of Carroll with the basketball. 1-point lead, 3:48 to go here in the opening quarter.
Oh, that's got to be offensive.
And an offensive foul.
Oh, no.
I know they're going to call a blocking foul.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm like you. Instinct said no way, but he's seen it different.
If that's on Batt, I've got him for 3.
Well, it is.
And that is crucial. And it's also, it is on Batt, and that's going to be 3 on one of their starting forwards, a 6'9" guy. He's going to come out of there. They're going to put Jake Wolfkale into the lineup. Here's the free throw that's off the mark.
Well, that's one of those 50-50 calls, and this time it goes Carroll's way and not Homestead's way.
Now there goes Batt to the sideline. Kalanji at the line, as we mentioned earlier, shoots 68%. He is now getting the second of the 2. And fouls are going to be an issue in this game, it would appear.
Homestead's really starting to collect fouls.
3 minutes, 39 seconds, second quarter, between Homestead in white, Carroll out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, in the blue. And it has been nip and tuck right from the get-go, with the exception of that 7-point margin that Carroll got early on.
Gary, and I think we'll have to mark this 3:21 mark and see how does Homestead offense run without the big guys, and the other piece, can Carroll take advantage of it?
Well, there's some good defense turned in that time by Hansen as they get it up court, and the shot is off the mark, and the rebound is yanked out of there by Luke Cooper. And another foul. Getting a lot of personal fouls, like you said, Jan. This will be on Kalanji. And on Jeremy, number 1 on him. And if it comes down to free throws, neither ball club particularly strong. Carroll shoots 69% from the line, and Homestead only 67% from the line.
Homestead right now 4 for 6. Carroll 7 for 8.
Cooper gets the bounce. Luke, 6'5" senior, has played in 21 games, averaged 1.6 points a game and 1.2 rebounds.
No bigger time for your bench to step up than now.
3 minutes exactly to go here in the first half.
You just never know in these tournament games when your name's going to be called.
Mahler's shot is short. Rebound almost knocks the breath out of Skowronek as he gets it across the timeline and sets up the Homestead offense with 2:45 to go in the half. The ball is kicked out of bounds. Stay with possession of Homestead. Homestead 25-2 on the year. Carroll 23-3. Two clubs that have earned their way in here.
Well, 2 things have happened for Homestead's offense. Obviously, with the big guys out, the power inside has not happened, but their power inside really opens up their outside shooting. And now the Carroll's defense has extended, and Homestead struggling to shoot from outside.
Here is one of those outside shots, Jan, that is knocked down from Jordan Geist. And that is his 4th field goal, 3 of which in this quarter have been 3-pointers. And another lead change.
That's big. They had kind of struggled up till that shot.
2.5 minutes to go here in the half, 29-27. In favor of Homestead now, in white. Boy, had a wide open look. Hansen thought about it, changed his mind. Ball almost knocked away. Now they've got to work their way inside. And let's see what they're going to call. Again, it was very close to an offensive foul.
Oh, he counts it,
Basket's going to count.
Oh, my.
And the foul is going to be on Taj Curry, and that's going to be 3 on him. They've got 2 starters, Jan, they being Homestead with 3 personal fouls.
Yes, they do. And we got about 2,000 real unhappy campers, and we got 2,000 really happy campers. Homestead not happy at all. Carroll's really happy because those fouls are really putting the onus on Homestead now.
And another lead change as Carroll goes back in front after Kalanji knocks down the free throw. 30-29. Carroll on top with 2:10 to play in the first half.
Oh, my. Coach Chris Johnson is giving the official an earful.
I mean,
he is. I'll give you 1. I am not giving you 2.
He was right in the ear of one of the officials. Pulled up jumper, Geist again. This time can't get it. And the rebound just pulled out of there by Jeremy Kalanji.
You kind of get the sense Geist is trying to put this team on his shoulders a little bit.
Here is Kalanji going hard to the hoop, and Jeremy's got his 3rd bucket this quarter. Jeremy, a 6'4", 195-pound senior, 25 games, 10 points a game, 3rd on the ball club in assists with 1.8 per game. 32-29 in favor of Carroll with 1:30 to go here in the first half. And I'll have to give credit to Homestead, Jan. They've done a pretty nice job with Swanigan out of there.
They really have. They haven't really gave up a lot.
Almost a travel. Left wing, Teddy Ray. Well, that defense is suffocating by Carroll.
Oh, that's really what Carroll, if you talk to their coach, that's what he'll tell you. We got here because of our defense.
In 11 previous meetings between these 2 ball clubs, 7 have been decided by 5 points or less. And Homestead has its lowest scoring totals in wins this season. I mentioned that 46-48. Shot no good. Kalanji comes out of there with a rebound. Homestead, by the way, has won 7 straight meetings between these 2 teams.
Kalanji really taking over here in this second period. You talk about defense, Carroll averages just giving up 45 points a game. So to emphasize the defensive aspect of it.
Fouls on Teddy Ray of Homestead. And Kalanji goes to the line again. Clock showing exactly 1 minute to go here in the first half. Jeremy, second. It's good. Free throws in this quarter, Jan, kind of keeping Carroll in the lead.
They certainly are. Nice little lead for him as well.
Got it back to 5. Clock is showing 5. Down to 50 seconds to go here in the first half. And there's a foul, kind of a ticky-tacky foul, if you will.
Carroll shooting 10 for 11 from the free throw line, to your point. That's where they've stayed and got their lead.
That foul was on Kellen Brown of Carroll. That'll be 2 on him. He and White each with 2. White's done a nice job protecting himself after getting in foul trouble early on. Geist misses the free throw, but Homestead hangs on to the basketball. 40 seconds to go in the half.
If Homestead can hang around the 5-point mark or less than and go into halftime with both their bigs on the bench, I think they're going to say we're okay.
I agree. Here's an going to be offensive foul. They do call it on Geist, and that'll be 2 on him.
Homestead's coach got to go, and what do I got to do to get one of these calls going my way? I'm not saying that was a bad call, but after you've had a couple you don't agree with, they all seem a little questionable if you're a coach.
So Jordan's got 2. Well, they got a bunch of guys in not foul trouble, but they're drifting into that zone where it could be. 20 seconds to go in the half. 34-29 in favor of Carroll. Carroll in blue with the basketball. Probably play for the final shot of the first half. This is Redding. Little give and go. My goodness, I guess. Beautiful move down low, and the fouls on Luke Cooper. That'll be the first on the 6'5 senior.
We've seen some great court recognition here in this first half. Just a beautiful no-look backdoor pass. And what Carroll's doing so well is they've always got cutters or people moving to the basket, and they see the court really well.
Here's Jeremy back on the line again.
He's lived there.
Yeah, he has. Kalanji, as we mentioned, 68% from the line. You wouldn't know it from the way he shot free throws here this morning. It is still morning, isn't it? Yes, it is.
It is.
What did I see? The Marion University girls college team had to play an 8:30 a.m. game in the tournament. Katie Gerald's the coach there.
Oh, my.
Second one no good. Can you imagine an 8:30 game in the morning?
No.
I mean, that's just really got to throw your body out of whack.
Oh, that's
three
huge.
is good at the buzzer by Geist.
Oh, 4 of them in this period.
Boy, what a way to end
man.
the first half if you're Homestead. They were in verge of getting this thing not out of reach, of course, but putting themselves in a difficult situation. After trailing by 7, they have come back now with that 3 to make it a 3-point ball game at halftime. And it's 35-32. Carroll out of Fort Wayne going for their 24th win of the year. Homestead at 25-2 with 32 on the board. 35-32 at halftime. We'll come back in a minute, take a look around the state, see what's going on, some of the other games that are underway, and also get your first half numbers for you. This is the IHSAA Champions Network.
Are you a fan of exciting action, great sporting atmosphere, and good displays of sportsmanship?
I am definitely a fan.
High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure entertainment value. Are you a fan of amazing spirit, incredible drama, and affordable ticket prices?
I'm definitely a fan.
High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure entertainment value.
Now, to give you some indication, Big Jan and I don't do all this work ourselves. Sweet Lou, Jeff Luzatter, is sitting here. Now, he's looking real innocent right now, like he doesn't do anything. Now, we can't turn the camera around and show you our executive director because it would go out of focus. I don't think we can do that.
What?
Can we? Wait a minute. What? Look, see, there we
There he
go.
goes.
There's big Rick Vanderwild, who...
You didn't think the 2 Jeff people could be on
no,
camera at the same time.
All credit where credit is due. Mr. Vanderwild is the driving force behind what we're trying to do this year for the Indiana High School Athletic Association, and we appreciate his hard work. He drives in, sets everything up, and he and Sweet Lou make this thing work, and we appreciate it very much. And we're going to be going all the way next week. We're going to go to a semi-state. It'll depend on mileage because, our mileage that we get is not real big, so it'll have to be close somewhere around this area. Big Jan, first half of this ballgame's been pretty darn good, my friend.
Yeah, it was just the physical aspect of the game started to catch up, and foul started to take over for Homestead, but I thought it was just a really good high school competitive first half.
And I think your point was well made toward the end of the first half of play. Homestead is only down by 3 at halftime, and Swanigan, their big guy, the guy that we talked about, everybody talks about him, he's one of the candidates for Mr. Basketball, ends up the first half jam with only 6 points and 2 personal fouls, and they had to get him out of the lineup. Head coach Chris Johnson did, and I thought his ball club did a good job of protecting themselves with him out of there.
Well, and that 3-point shot there at the end of the half by Geist kind of masked a little bit the score. They got it back to within 3. Had he not hit that, Carroll going in 6 versus 3, that's a big, big difference in a game like this.
Well, let's take a look at the individual scoring in the first half of this ball game. Big guy. We're talking about Jeremy Kalonji here. He had a terrific first half from the free throw line. What'd you say it was?
He was 7 for 9 for the first half. He had 13 points overall. He was 0 for 1 for 3-point and 3 for 5 from the field.
So he's the top scorer now for Carroll of Fort Wayne. His average is 10 points a game. So in the first half, he kind of carried this Carroll ball club. They had some guys in foul trouble likewise. So Jacob Redding was 7, Chandler White with 5, Kyle Mullers with 3, 13 for Kalonji, and 7 points for Kellen Brown in the first half of the game. Individually for Homestead, a terrific second quarter for Geist. As Jan mentioned, he had 4 3-pointers in the second quarter and a total of 16 in the first half. Taj Curry added 5 more. Luke Cooper with 1. Caleb Swanigan, as we mentioned, did not score in that second quarter. Finishes up the first half with 6. Dana Batt with 4 points in the half. One of the other starters, Teddy Ray, did not score. Jen, you got some team numbers here to take a look at.
Yeah, and they really kind of talk about the competitiveness of the first half. Shooting percentages, first for Carroll, they shot 43% overall from the field, 40% from three-point line. Free throws, really where they made their money, 84.6%, shooting 11 for 13. For Homestead Bake, they shot 47.8% from the field overall. Here's the difference, though. Homestead shoots 50%, 5 for 10 from three-point line. However, where they made their mistake was from the free throw line, just 5 for 9, 55%. A couple other interesting stats. Points off the bench. Remember, we talked about neither team really likes to go to their bench. Only 1 point was scored from both teams off the bench. That came from Homestead. Points in the paint, both teams with 8 points. Very similar in all categories.
Well, what you're saying is that without the 3-point field goal shot by Homestead, and they shoot 33% on the year, and that's about normal, I suppose. Carroll shoots 38%. Without the 3-point shot in the first half, Homestead, instead of being down by 3, may be down by half a dozen or more.
Yeah, no question about it. That was a big, big shot. They just had some of those 50-50 calls not go their way. They played through it. And the 3-point line, specifically, guys hitting 3 of them in that second period, really kept Homestead hanging around. And I think they're very comfortable going into halftime.
We'll take a quick break, come back, and take a look around the state, see what else we can find for you. Again at halftime, Carroll 35, Homestead 32 on the IHSAA Champions Network.
Ball at their own 36.
You want a playoff atmosphere? I got you one right here.
First down, Luck out of the gun again. Andrew takes the snap. Sets up, looks. He's going to throw one way downfield to T.Y. Got it! He's going to score! He's going to score! He's going to score! The Colts have tied it.
Oh my God!
On a 64-yard pass play from Andrew Luck to T.Y. Hilton. It's 44.
And you can see the teams are back on the court now as we get set for the second half. And thanks again to Terry Downham and his crew at Kokomo High School for all the stuff they do getting us these numbers. Jan, let's take a look around the state right now. As we mentioned, this is the regional Saturday. And the way it sets up, other teams in various classes are playing right now. And any scores available to us?
Well, I've got a couple here that's reported in. Park Tudor 38, Northwestern 23. We had Park Tudor, of course, the championship game of the sectional last Saturday night, Bake, and they are the real deal. It's a different type of Park Tudor ball club. They slow it down, but they got bigs, they got shooters. That team will be difficult to beat. The other team we have, Pike, who's really disrupting this 4A class.
Yes, they are.
Making a lot of noise. They're up over Richmond right now at halftime, 27-22.
Well, Richmond is tied for 10th in the state, and Pike doesn't surprise me. That they're being played down at Southport. Greenfield Central is hosting that Park Tudor game, and Dwinger, we understand, is also ahead now at halftime over Hamilton Heights, a ball club. It's 19-7, and they have struggled this year with a ton of injuries.
Yeah, Hamilton Heights had a really nice sectional championship win over at Muncie, and they're playing really, really well right now.
So that's our halftime scoreboard presented by our good friends at Subway. Subway, eat fresh. We'll take a minute break, come back here, and get the second half tip-off for you in just a moment. Again at halftime, Carroll 35, Homestead 32 on the IHSAA Champions Network.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this. You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
To speak with a farmer's agent in your community, call 888-96
Crowd continues to roll in at Bill Green Arena here in Marion, Indiana. Marion High School, Jerry Baker, Big Jan Bozier, the rest of our IHSAATV.org crew on hand. Been a darn good first half of play. It'll be interesting to see how things shake out here in the second half when Homestead is able to get Swanigan back on the court for a little while.
Boy,
he's back out there right now.
When he's not out there, that is a massive loss because he does so many things, and we can list them all. I mean, he just takes up room, number one, and you can't forget what that does. So let's see. He has to play with couple, and more importantly, Bat has 3.
Lights is now up over Fort Wayne Dwenger at halftime. We are told inside they go to Swanigan, and he will get the bucket. And for Caleb, his 8th point. The other 6 came in the first half of play. And that cuts the lead down to 1 again. You get a sense, Jan, that fouls are going to be such an issue as this game wears on. Nice looking drive to the hoop and a good looking play by Chandler White.
Yeah, White went right at Bat. That very well could have been number 4 on him.
So we have had 5 lead changes in the first half, 3 ties, and the last tie back at 20. Pull-up shot out front is no good. Nice offensive rebound and a handoff, and the bucket is good by Taj Curry.
Great pass by Swanigan. You talked about the assist that he piles up. He sees the floor very well.
So it's still a 1-point ball game with a minute gone here in this third quarter of play. The winner comes back and plays either Carmel or McCutcheon tonight at 8. I have it for you.
I think Carroll had to talk a little bit about at halftime. Guys, they're in foul trouble. We got to go at them.
So a held ball. And the possession arrow will keep it into the hands of McCutcheon. I'll check it in the hands of Carroll for the moment.
Officials doing a good thing here, just trying to get everybody kind of just take a breath here, getting very, very physical. And that's good officiating because that benefits everybody because the coaches, the players, the crowd, nobody wants a free throw shooting contest.
The official has gone down to talk to both of the coaches, Marty Beasley of Carroll and Chris Johnson of Homestead, and I think what he's probably saying to them is, look, you settle your guys down or we'll have to take some action out here.
And I think that's a great thing to do.
So it's a 1-point ball game in favor of Carroll in blue. Nice looking pass inside again. Boy, they are a good passing ball club.
Yes, they are taking advantage of it too.
Delange now with 15 points, 5 above his scoring average.
Well, he's really carried Carroll.
6.5 minutes to go here in the third. 39-36 in favor of Carroll out of Fort Wayne in the dark uniform.
Carroll's really backing off, saying, Homestead, you're going to beat us. It's going to be from outside.
Dropped it inside to Bat. Oh, nice spin move and a block and a foul. And that foul's going to be on Maulers, and that'll be the second on Kyle. Maulers had a terrific sectional, by the way, against North. He went for 13 points and 11 rebounds. And against Northrop, 23 points and 9 rebounds. The free throw is off the mark by Bat.
Well, you talk about these games, and you look down both rosters, and the losses that either team has had has been 1 or 2 points. And in games like this, Jerry, what's it come down to? Free throw shooting.
You betcha. Let me correct myself because apparently the official scorebook has Maulers with 3. So we'll keep an eye on that. 39-37, a 2-point ball game in favor of Carroll. Carroll with the basketball. They have shot the ball reasonably well, but as Jan pointed out, the defense has been so hectic out there. If you get any kind of an open shot, you better take it because it's not going to be there very long.
And I think Carroll's did a pretty good job of really trying to get the tempo to their liking a little more.
This is Brown. Killam gets inside, and again, there's just nowhere to go, so he has to swing it back out as Dana Batt had him covered up. 5.5 to go.
Look how far Homestead's defense extended out. That paint's wide open. Carroll really not shooting anybody in the paint right now. There's the back door.
Oh, what a beautiful pass. No foul call that time, and that's much to the chagrin of the Carroll fans. 5:10 to go. Pull up three from long range. And the rebound comes off into Carroll's hands again. Carroll, on at least a couple of occasions now, Jan, has gone into a slow offense. Not a stall, but a little slower offense, if you will. Swanigan comes out with the rebound. And it's almost like they need to get their breath or something. Here's the driving layup. Let's see which way this is going to go. The foul.
It's going to be offensive fouls, what the official says.
And that is on Curry. And that is going to be 4 on one of the starting guards. 4 now on Taj. So he will come out, and Tyler French will come onto the court now for Homestead. Tyler, a 6'3" senior, averaging 3 points a game. 39-37. You still get a sense that the foul difficulty, the situation is going to develop into something as the game wears on. 4.5 to go here in the third.
What Carroll's trying to do here is they're clearing everybody out and then get a back door that get that layup. Now, they've had that play. However, they haven't finished the last time they set it up.
And a reach-in foul of the near wing on Teddy Ray. Second foul on him.
Well, right now, Geist has 2, French with 1, Ray with 2, Swanigan with 2, and Bat with 3. That's Homestead's people on the floor right now.
Jacob Redding running the point. Swing it off to the corner, right side to Mahlers. Nothing doing. Rebound comes off into the hands of Homestead again. Homestead down by a deuce with 4 minutes to go here in the third. Open look from outside is short. Rebound fought for. We're going to get another contact out high. The shot was taken by Teddy Ray.
You know, you as an official, whenever you can get a standing ovation, whether it's tongue-in-cheek or whether it's not, you just got to smile a little bit. I'll tell you, you cannot imagine how difficult a game like this is to officiate. When you've got the caliber of athletes, the banging going on, you try real hard to get a flow. Now, depending on which team you are, you're going to agree whether there's a good flow or not.
That was the 4th foul on Chandler White. So Carroll's going to be shorthanded in that area because he's one of their, in fact, he is their top scorer and top rebounder.
All right, Homestead has got to remember Swanigan's got the offense needs to go through him.
Wow. I mean, a collision, and the official reacts to it.
This one's going to go against Carroll. Goes against Mahlers. That's his second foul, Bake. Mahlers with 2 on the floor. Hansen with 1. Kalaji with 1. And Brown with 2.
Well, it was a wild collision.
Yes, it was.
Long three is good. This time they move Swanigan outside. He knocks down the 3. That's his 20th 3 of the year. 19 of 61 coming into the game, and all of a sudden, it's a 1-point ball game in favor of Homestead, and we take a break ourselves, 40-39 of the IHSAA Champions Network.
Are you a fan of exciting action, great sporting atmosphere, and good displays of sportsmanship?
I am definitely a fan.
High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure entertainment value. Are you a fan of amazing spirit, incredible drama, and affordable ticket prices?
I'm definitely a fan.
High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure entertainment value.
Carroll out of Fort Wayne, 23-3. That's their ties the school record for the most wins in a season for the Carroll Chargers. Preseason, they were not ranked at all, either the AP poll, which ranks them by class, or by the IHSAA, which ranks everybody in one class. At the end, AP had them number 8. Basketball coaches number 7. Sagarin has them number 9 in the state. A couple of good ball clubs going after each other. And a foul. We got a couple of guys they can choose from here. Let's see which way they're going to go. Looks like they'll go on Teddy Ray. That'll be number 3 on the 6'5 senior, one of the starters who has not scored yet in the game. And Maulers goes to the line. 77% shooter. Hasn't been there yet this morning. Tie ball game at 40 at the moment.
It's interesting, Bake, when you study these teams and paper says this just ought to come down to the wire, and I don't think paper's lying today. Sometimes it doesn't always tell the truth because these are humans, and humans can do funny things sometimes. But right now, this is just going to come down to one of those all-time nail-biters.
Those 2 free throws give it another change in the lead, 41-40 in favor of Carroll at the moment. 2:45 to go here in the third quarter. Here's the move inside that's off the mark. Good move by Bat. I don't think there's any way to stop that. He got bumped pretty hard.
Well, I think that Homestead's starting to get a little too comfortable, I should say, with outside shooting. You need to take advantage of your 2 big guys before they get any more fouls.
I agree. That foul was on Kyle Maulers, and that'll be number 3 on him. And Bat goes to the line, where he is now after missing that one. 1 out of 3. There's Big Dana. Bat's headed, by the way, to Colgate for his collegiate experience.
He looks like he's got for my terms, a young body. He looks like his upside is really huge as he grows a little bit more into his body. He's a real nice-looking kid now, and I think he's just going to be maybe even a better college player.
Tie ball game at 41 and a whistle, and I have no idea what this is for.
He's looking up the scoreboard.
Apparently it's a clock issue of some sort. Shows 2:42 right now.
Yeah, they moved the clock down to 2:39, Big.
A couple of seconds ticked by. Officials run on top of that. Tie ball game at 41.
Carroll scored 20 points in that second period.
Inside pass again. I love the way Carroll moves the basketball. That's Kalanji's second bucket this quarter. He averages 10 points a game. He has 17 right now. He's been the key.
He's carried him. You're exactly right.
Inside they go to Bat. And Bat gets his first bucket in the second half. They've gone 5 minutes and 45 seconds in this third quarter, Jan, and that's Homestead's second. They'll make it 4th field goal.
Well, the 2 big guys have 9 of the 11 points in this period.
Long 3. Got it again. Boy, this kid can shoot the basketball. Jacob Redding with 3. That's his second 3. He's at 10 points right now, and that's right at his scoring norm of 9.8. 46-43.
Somebody caught one in the eye. I believe that was Guys.
Yeah.
You know what I really like, and this you can just tell comes from good coaching, Jerry, is both these teams from the very tip-off came out, didn't show nerves at all, really have played just the highest of caliber of basketball.
Yeah, you're right there. Guys, by the way, is a transfer from Penn High School. Averaged almost 18 points and 4 assists per game last year for the Kingsmen. 46-43 with 1:40 to go here in the third quarter. Homestead basketball, they trail by 3. Inside they go to Swanigan, and he will just muscle his way inside, and after getting 6 points in the first half, he has 7 here in the third quarter.
And honestly, I think the officiating does a pretty good job because he is so big and he goes up so strong, you could literally call a foul almost every time he goes up because how you have to guard him looks so physical.
Carroll with the basketball, 1 point lead, 1:07 to go, third quarter.
Carroll's kind of withered a little bit of a run by Homestead.
Driving inside, Maulers swings it out to the corner. Long 3 by Hansen.
Let me tell you something. Hansen sat there. He engineered it. He took picture. He did everything and then said, man, I'm ready. And they got him the ball, and he stroked it. That's great shooting.
His 17th three on the year. He was 16 of 40 coming into this morning's game. His first points of the game, by the way. And it's 49-45. They stretch the lead to 4. They'll try to get it back at the other end, and they will.
Wow,
that is Teddy Ray's first points of the morning.
I love that. Your first point's a long three, especially when you got the big guy in there calling for the ball.
The average is 6 per game. He's got threes halfway there in the final seconds of the third quarter and a 1-point ball game.
What a game. What a game.
Playing for one. Time is running short. They'll swing it back outside. They'll get the long-range three that's off the mark.
Good
and
rebound.
That's going to get us through 3.
Wow.
It was a 1-point ball game, and now it is still a 1-point ball game. After 3, 49-48, Carroll of Fort Wayne over Homestead for the regional championship.
Ball at their own 36.
You want a playoff atmosphere? I got you one right here.
First down, Luck out of the gun again. Andrew takes the snap. Sets up, looks. He's going to throw one way downfield. It's T.Y. He's got it! He's going to score! He's going to score! He's going to score! The Colts have tied it!
Oh my God!
On a 64-yard pass play from Andrew Luck to T.Y. Hilton. It's 44.
And if you like high school basketball, it doesn't get much better than this big guy. We go to the fourth quarter, and Carroll leads 49-48 over Homestead.
I keep saying it, but I think it's really true. From the tip-off, now starting this fourth and final period, this is as good as basketball game as I've seen all year.
Fourth quarter's underway. Biggest lead anybody has had has been 7. Carroll had that back in the first quarter. Homestead is led by as many as 4 in this game, and now it's a 1-point ball game as we head to the final 8 minutes. Pull-up jumper out front, no good. Good position inside of the rebound that time by Kyle Mullers.
I'm still a little surprised Homestead's forgot about Swanigan. Down the stretch, man, he's your money man.
Long 3, nothing doing. On the floor, chased down by Carroll Fort Wayne, and a good effort that time by Kalanji.
Oh, who they get? Oh, they got 54. That's bad.
And that's going to be 4 on him.
Yep, he's going to sit down. I would maybe not. Fourth period, they may say now or never. He's not going to pull him, Jerry.
Yep, I mentioned a while ago he's headed to Colgate. Well, this is a tough coaching decision right now. You'd like to get him out of there for a couple of minutes, I guess.
They're just saying it's now or never. I think he's going to say if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, though, I got the benefit of having him on the court. My chances of winning are greatly enhanced with him on there. I guarantee you that.
You got that right. We're 50 seconds into the fourth quarter, and there's no change in the score. 49-48, Carroll out in front of our Homestead. Well, both these ball clubs have played pretty darn good defense.
Yeah, they really have. We talked about how Carroll has really, that's how they run their season. Wow, and here's a call 90 feet from the bucket.
It's going to be on Maulers, I believe.
I think you're right.
Yeah, it is, and that's going to be 4 on their big 6'7" starter. Maulers.
There's Bat taking a seat back. We thought he might. And
yep.
I'm a little surprised. Here's what I'm a little surprised at. That he takes him out during the offensive possession. I thought he might take him out during the defense, but nevertheless, he gets him out, and that's probably a pretty good move.
Now here he comes right now with 4 fouls. He has 5 points, a 3-point field goal in the second quarter, and 2 free throws in this quarter. His average is 13 per game, so he's not there yet. I don't look for him to be over there very long, Jan, if things don't go their way.
There it is.
He's going to go
Oh,
inside.
they get him offensive.
Offensive foul on Swanigan.
Of course, we're a long way away. What he may have did, and the underneath official says he wrapped him, and it's difficult for us to see that. We're on the complete opposite end. But if he indeed put that back arm and wrapped him, that's a good call. If he didn't, then you make the decision at home.
His nickname is Biggie.
No.
Said it started when he was a little kid. One of the aunts started calling him Biggie, and it stuck. There's not much of a background to it, he says. That's just what people started calling him, Biggie. He's a pretty big-sized guy.
Well, he's big, and he's also, I would call him Mr. Strong.
And you might call him Mr. Basketball when the season's over.
That could be. That's a great point.
Here's Chandler White getting the bucket. Chandler up to 9 points. He is the top scorer on Carroll's ball club at 13.8. Had a little trouble getting cranked on. Biggie's going to fire from outside and hit the bottom of the backboard. It's not his shot, although he did hit one earlier.
Got a little bit of a hurry.
It's a rough and tumble game right now. That foul will be on Skoronek, I believe, yes.
Homestead now 23 rebounds compared to Carroll's 14 rebounds.
Well, we talked about the difference, Jan. They averaged 35.1 a game as compared to the teams they play averaging just under 24. And they've done a lot of that, of course, without the big guy in there.
Yep.
Whistle. And a traveling violation, they say, on the move by Jeremy Kolanji.
Well, turnover's been pretty kind to Carroll. They've only had 5. Homestead with 12.
Carroll shooting 46%. Homestead shooting 44%. Both ball clubs, Jan, several percentage points below their norm for the year.
Well, and that's going to happen in a defensive caliber type, very rugged, tough game like we got here.
Here's Redding at long range. We'll check it, Geist at long range. The next foul by Homestead will send Carroll to the free throw line. Almost a traveling violation. In fact, that's what the coaching staff at the near end thought. Here's Biggie shot inside, didn't get it, gets the follow up, puts it in the bucket, draws the foul, goes to the line.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You got it. This offense has got to go through that young man right there. And as you see on your camera, and then this is actually a really good look how much Carroll sags just to try to understand to get the needed help side defense to cover him.
So Swanigan off to a slow start, now has 15 and 16. Still 8 points shy of a scoring norm. And a full timeout. We'll take it also. 5:09 to go, fourth quarter. Tie ball game at 51 of the IHSAA Champions Network. We are back now at Bill Green Arena, Marion High School. Tie ball game at 51, fourth quarter, 5:08 to go. In blue, Carroll. In white, Homestead. Heck of a ball game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And if Carroll's going to be able to pull this out, once again, we talked about the difference in size, and it shows in the rebounding, 23 to 14. Carroll's got to pick it up just a little bit on the rebounding side of it, Bake.
And the free throws, 13 to 15 for Carroll, 7 to 13 for Homestead. We said early on, Jan, free throws might be the difference in the ball game, and I think that's pretty much the case right now. Oh, good defensive play turned in by Geist. Homestead goes back the other way. Geist has it again. Swings off at the corner left side. Curry with nowhere to go. Now they'll bring it back out and let Guy set up the offense one more time. 4:35 to go, fourth quarter, tie ball game 51.
We're this far deep in the game, Bake. Now possessions are everything. You've got to take advantage of every possession.
Biggie looks for the cuts, and there's now three blue shirts on him, and somehow he manages still to get the bucket, and he has 18 points.
Absolutely, he's the right call. If you're Homestead, that ball has to go through him. That's just such an overwhelming mismatch.
Eighth lead change of the game at a time that's going to be taken by Carroll Fort Wayne. No indication yet whether they want a full timeout over 30. So it's a full timeout. We'll do the same again. 4:07 to go. 53-51 in favor of Homestead of the IHSAA Champions Network.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this. You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
To speak with a Farmers agent in your community, call 888-96.
We have talked about this man here on your screen,
yes.
Bill Green, who was a longtime coach here, won a championship at Indianapolis, Washington, won 5 of them, including 3 in a row here at Marion. Last time I saw him was on the golf course, and I swear, with the exception that he got a little bit heavier as the years went on, but he was the same amicable person. He passed away in 2011. Just a terrific guy.
Didn't he love the game, though?
Oh, he loved
absolutely loved the game of basketball.
You know, he got out of it for a while, and, you know, it's like he had to get back into it. What a job he did here for these Marion Giants fans over the years. Back to reality, 3:45 fourth quarter, 3:45 fourth quarter, and a 2-point ball game in favor of Homestead. Carroll's got the basketball, trying to get the lead back again.
You know, Homestead made one little surge and got a lead, but for the most part, Carroll's been able to hold on to a 1 to 3 point lead throughout.
Well, that defense is still sticky. Now they run inside, and Biggie's there to stop them. Now Biggie's trying to get the job done, and he picks up the foul from behind. That on Cato, that'll be number 4.
Well, the problem gets into anytime you bring your hand down or your arm down, your chances of getting the foul increase dramatically. Schwaningen brings the arm down just a little bit, but an official thought it was enough to grab arm.
And another timeout. It'll be a 30-second timeout. Jan, let's just go back and recap the game. At the end of the first quarter, it was just as tight then as it is right now. Carroll had a 15-14 lead. They had jumped the lead to 3 at halftime, 35-32, as Homestead hit a three-pointer right at the buzzer to chop that lead down to 3, chop it in half. After 3, Carroll of Fort Wayne 49, Homestead 48. And we go to the final 3:16, 2-point ball game, 53-51 Homestead.
Yeah, and now Homestead's going to play with 4 fouls, but both their bigs. If you're a Carroll fan, you got to think they're going to go at the big guys, and if you can do that with 3+ minutes left, that could be a big advantage.
Well, as I mentioned, Homestead trying to replicate what their girls did a week ago down at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. They went in and played in that 4A championship game. Unfortunately for the Homestead fans, they lost, but what a job they did in going up against Columbus North. Had a terrific year. And this will be the final year, by the way, for Homestead in the Northeast Hoosier Conference. They are getting out of the conference. Homestead and Carroll are going to join the SAC in basketball and football. They're independent in everything else. So a lot of movement among the conferences. Second one is good. And Kalanji, who was red hot in that second quarter, now jammed with 18 in the game. That's 8 points above his scoring average.
1-point ball game, every possession. You can start to feel it in the crowd now, too.
Everybody kind of sitting, waiting for something good to happen. The crowd continues to increase, of course, the fans getting ready to come in for the McCutcheon-Carmel game, which is next, which we'll have for you. 53-52. Homestead with a 1-point lead. Swanigan works inside and lost the basketball.
Yeah, too much dribbling on his part.
The numbers on the break. Oh, good spin move inside, and the bucket wouldn't go. Rebound comes off though to Carroll, and the shot missed again, and this time the rebound and in from behind.
That may be it from Waller.
That's going to be number 5 on Kyle if that's where they go, and that's the case.
Yep, that's big from this perspective. He's been under his average a little bit today, but he has been one of the forces for Carroll on the board.
Fowler's out of there with 5 points. We don't have his rebound total handy here. I'm just looking. They had 5 rebounds, and they were all off the defensive end of the court. So he is gone. His points, Jan, were important, of course, but not as important as just what he brought to the table overall today. Ready with the free throws.
Homestead gets the lead now by 1 point with the 2 free throws.
2.5 to go.
Make it 3 points.
Yeah, make it 3 points. Yep, and a timeout again. And this is a full timeout, so we will take one likewise. 2:28, fourth quarter. 3-point lead now for Homestead over Carroll, the IHSAA Champions Network.
Ball at their own 36.
You want a playoff atmosphere? I got you one right here.
First down, Luck out of the gun again. Andrew takes the snap. Sets up, looks. He's going to throw one way downfield. It's T.Y. Got it! He's going to score! He's going to score! He's going to score! The Colts have tied it!
Oh my God!
On a 64-yard pass play from Andrew Luck to T.Y. Hilton. It's 44.
Carroll, Fort Wayne, 23-3 on the year, and the head coach Marty Beasley said this is the best team I've coached talent-wise in my 22 years in the game, and you can kind of see why, Jan.
No doubt about it. Both these teams with just boatloads of talent. Let's see how we're just about to the 2-minute mark, Jerry. Let's see how both teams handle their possessions.
Homestead up by 3. They call Kellen Brown out to the point. Set up at long range with Chandler White. Still lots of time left, but you don't want to waste any of it right now. They're trying to get the ball in the hands of Redding. Redding's had a nice ball game. He has 10 points so far. Now 1:50 to go in the fourth quarter. 55-52 in favor of Homestead. Carroll with the basketball. The 3 would tie it. Well, that defense not giving him very much of an opportunity to even get any kind of a shot away.
Carroll down 1 possession. They're using a lot of clock here.
Here is the guy that I talked about. This is Redding. Now they go inside, and it falls.
Whoa.
Kellen Brown.
How big was that to get the roll?
His first field goal since the first quarter. His first points in the second half, a total of 9. He averages just under 5. Now, Jan, if you're Homestead, what do you got to do? You got to slow this thing down?
I don't think you want to slow it down, but I think you want to be very selective on your shot. One thing you don't want to do is force anything. No need to.
55-54. Now we have exactly 1 minute to play. Homestead has the lead. They hit the basketball. They had it taken away. A 2-on-1 and a foul prior to the shot. Maybe a pretty smart foul on Teddy Ray.
See, I talked about not forcing anything, and I thought Geis kind of got a little out of control that time and got it stolen.
Well, here are big free throws coming up for Chandler White, and this will be the first time in the game he has been to the free throw line. On the year, shoots 71%, and another timeout. So, yeah, we'll take it also with 55.4 to go. 1-point ball game, and Carroll going to the line on the IHSAA Champions Network.
easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this. You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
To speak with a farmer's agent in your community, call 888-96.
Bad Geist and Swanigan named to the All-Conference Northeast Hoosier Conference first team for Fort Wayne, for Homestead, and for Carroll. Jeremy Kalanji, Mallers, and White all named All-Conference first team, and they missed the free throw.
Wow, that's one you didn't want to miss.
As I mentioned, first time that Chandler had been to the line tonight. Now you're reaching the point with 45 seconds to go where you got to commit the foul, I guess. That was almost an over and back situation.
The guy's got a chance to redeem himself a little bit here. He's had a pretty good game. Those threes, I'm telling you, in the second period when Swanigan was on the bench, really carried Homestead.
Foul was on Kalanji. Free throw is off the mark, no good, but the rebound comes right back into the hands of Jordan Geist.
Carroll needs to know who they should foul in this situation.
35 seconds to go at a time. They got the foul called against Carroll. There's your scoreboard. You can see what the situation is with 35 seconds remaining. And that foul will go against Jacob Redding of Carroll. I'm surprised, Jan, that we have had more than one player foul out of this game, to be honest with you. Free throw is good.
That's big.
Curry, first time to the line here this morning. 8 points of the game.
Homestead now, Jerry, with this 2-point lead. You get this free throw here. Still a one-possession game, but it changes the dynamics a little bit from 2 to 3.
Taj Curry, 67% on the season. Got them both. Those were big.
Yep, they are.
His first 2 points of the quarter, 9 points on the morning, and a 3-point ball game.
Here's a Carroll team who's led throughout. What are they going to do?
Here's the three on the way. Got it!
Oh, how big is that?
Jacob Redding with his third 3-point field goal of the morning, and we are tied for the 7th time at 57.
Big players make big plays.
And here's one of the big guys, Swanigan. What's he got to do? They're going to call a timeout.
Here we go. Oh, my, what a game, what a game.
Well, let's just stay right here. Here's the scenario. 10.8 to go, and a monster three from Jacob Redding, a 6-foot, 140-pound sophomore who has 45 threes out of 102 attempts coming into the game. Jen, that's his third of the morning. 13 points of the game. Couldn't have come at a bigger time for your Carroll Fort Wayne fans.
What I liked about it, he showed confidence in his eyes, his face, all his body language said, I want this, and he stroked it with tons of confidence. Now, let me be a coach, if you will, Jerry. You never let me do this, but I'm going to be a coach. For Homestead, the world knows, at least I think they should, that the big guy should get the ball here. Yeah. Now, what may happen is he gets the ball and 5 people collapse on him. He's got to be ready for that. But if you are a coach, how could you not set the big guy up for 10 seconds left?
Well, as I mentioned, Jan, Caleb Swanigan, who we're talking about, he is second on the team in assists with almost 4 per game. If it goes inside and he's got a house full on top of him, he's smart enough guy to get it back outside.
Yeah, he's a great assist guy, but with this 57, he's a Mr. Basketball candidate. he can take this game home. The chances if he gets it inside is he makes it, he misses, gets fouled, or he makes it and gets the free throw.
Let me put it this way. If I'm going to be a coach, I'm going to the big guy.
You know what? You sounded like a genius right there, because that's exactly what I said.
He's got all kinds of honors. Named to the West team of the 38th annual McDonald's All-American game, one of just 24 high school players from around the country.
Now let's not
earn that honor.
Let's not forget, Carroll knows that as well, that they want to go to him.
Here we go. Final 8 seconds. 7 and 6 and 5 and 4. Baseline jumper is good.
Oh, Geist with 2.
They didn't go to the big guy. They went to Geist, and that's his first field goal in the second half of the game.
But I love it when a guy says, I've got the confidence to take that shot.
Well, I'll tell you one of the reasons he took it, Jan, if you could see on your screen at the time, Biggie didn't have anybody. He had company all around him because they're talking about the same thing we're talking about. So wisely, Geist gets it, and why not? For Geist, that was his 18th point of the game. And that's right at his normal 16-7.
Boy, I'll tell you, that was just a good shot. He was well defended. You know, sometimes you don't do anything wrong, and I don't think Carroll did anything wrong. He just made a good shot. He made a good play.
Coming up next, McCutcheon and Carmel. At about 20 minutes or so after this game, and we'll have it for you here on the IHSAA Champions Network. McCutcheon, ranked number 15 in the state at 22-4. Carmel, 22-2, ranked number 3 in the state for a long time. They were number 1 in the state.
They just put some more time on the clock. It went from 1-7 to 2-1. That does make a difference when you're trying to get it 90 feet full court.
Yeah, they got to bring it the full length of the court. Now, they've got some timeouts left, I think, they being Carroll. If they could get it in, it got a quick timeout, but it's going to force them down to one shot.
The big guy puts pressure. Here we go.
Here we go for the win. Hit the rim and came out of there.
Wow, how about 3-0 against the team? How hard is that?
Chandler White almost turned this crowd upside down.
Boy, that shot was as close as you can get it without going in. And my heart just bleeds for Carroll right now. It's a team, Jerry, that did absolutely everything you need to do to beat your opponent, but just a play here, play there was the difference.
You know, one of the things that we talked about at the outset of our telecast, Dan, was how both these teams score. Homestead averages 71 a game, Carroll 61.5. Look where they are, 59-57, and that goes back to what we talked about. All 3 games this year have been low scoring between these two teams.
I got to go back to the last shot of the first half when Geist was able to hit that big shot, if you remember, and you talked about it. The difference between 3 down and 6 down going into halftime for me was huge.
Not just on the scoreboard, but maybe emotionally also.
Maybe more so.
Well, this is one of the things you love and one of the things you don't like about the basketball tournament. Jan, you see 2 good ball clubs go after each other tooth and nail for 32 minutes, and all of a sudden one team is elated, the other team is going to pack their bags and go home.
Boy, it was just one of those, for me, classic high school basketball games. As I've mentioned, I know multiple times throughout this telecast, both teams came out and were so well prepared, didn't come out and show the nerves. They played good basketball for 4 periods, and it came down to what you would want, the last shot.
And the very last shot darn near went in.
Yeah.
What a terrific effort by Carroll Fort Wayne. So they will end up the year with a record of 23-4. Homestead goes to 26-2. And now the first thing the coaches have to do is get these kids off the court, get them off their feet, and get them into a hotel or something. Just let them relax so they got another game to play tonight.
Well, I think that was and that's a great point, because I think Homestead used a lot of energy. That was a very, very physical game. There's a difference between a very physical game and a non-physical game as far as using your energy.
Well, that thing was that thing was physical right from the get-go.
Oh, no doubt about it.
We are told that Dwenger has won their ball game. They were playing Hamilton Heights. Heights had them down. Now, Richmond also kind of a surprise ball club to a lot of us. They've been very quiet this year. Richmond is also, we understand, leading Pike right now down to the Southport Regional. So again, what we'll do is between games compile all those for you and have them when we start our second telecast. Jan, let's take a look at the scoring. First off, for the Carroll Ball Club, Chargers finish up with Jacob Redding having 13 points in the ball game. And the only other double-figure score for Carroll was Jeremy Kalanji with 18. The rest of the scoring was pretty well spread out amongst the other starters and the subs off the bench. Falkett right there at the end had 18 points. And Caleb Swanigan, after getting 6 points, Jan, of the first quarter, he got shut out in the second quarter of play. So he went into the halftime locker room with only 6 points. He added 7 in the third, put 5 more on the board in the fourth. And again, part of that's because he was hit with some early foul trouble. So he finishes up likewise with 18 points.
Yeah, it was just one of those games. And, you know, you always say these games come down to turnovers. Homestead was able to overcome 14 turnovers. Carroll had just 7 from the free throw line. Carroll 14 for 18. Homestead not quite as good, 12 for 19.
And the rebound situation, that's always an issue you take a look at. The total rebounds for Carroll, 16 and 28 for Homestead. And that goes right along the way we set up this telecast this morning, Jan, of how that's just about the same difference, about 10, 11, 12 rebounds a game difference for Homestead.
Yep.
All right, that's going to wrap things up for us right here. Our telecast is brought to you by the Indiana Pacers and the Indiana Fever, by the Indianapolis Colts, by Farmers Insurance, Group Auto, Home and Life, and a free online quote, farmers.com. Subway, eat fresh. Methodist Sports Medicine, get back in the game. Sharp Business Systems, work without limits. And by Wilson Sporting Goods, the official ball of the IHSAA. Final score again in a beauty. Homestead 59, Carroll 57. We take a break. They'll put about 25 minutes on the scoreboard clock. They'll wind it down, and we'll be back. There's the clock, and there's the final score. We'll be back in about 20 minutes or so with the second game. It should be just as good as this one, as Carmel, 22-2 on the year, takes on McCutcheon with a team record of 22-4. So for all of us, Rick, Jeff, Big Jan, myself, we'll take a break and come back. Stay right where you are. We'll see you later with game number 2 of the Marion Regional on the IHSAA Champions Network.
Ball at their own 36.
You want a playoff atmosphere? I got you one right here.
First down, Luck out of the gun again. Andrew takes the snap. Sets up, looks. He's going to throw one way downfield. It's T.Y. Got it! He's going to score! He's going to score! He's going to score! The Colts have tied it.
Oh my God!
On a 64-yard pass play from Andrew Luck to T.Y. Hilton. It's 44.